In this week's Brit in Poland, I bring you belated Christmas wishes. Poland is a big fan of Christmas, as you may have imagined. So I decided this year I was going to go on a little bit of a trek to see some of the biggest cities in Poland and see how they are preparing for Christmas. So expect to see a number of Christmas markets from Warsaw, Gdańsk, Krakow, and Wrocław. I'm in Krakow right now. My friend insisted that this Christmas market was voted the best in Europe. I'm a little skeptical on that, as I would say my personal favorite is Wrocław, but I guess I'll let you decide. So in the comments, let me know which Christmas market is your favorite. And I think in future years, I'm going to look to go to other cities in Poland and see what else is there, because there have been reportedly some very good displays in places like Rzeszów and Katowice and Opola, Zakopane. So yeah, let's see how it goes. But for now, enjoy some festive fun. Dzień dobry and welcome to A Brit in Poland. This channel is going to bring you everything you need to know about Poland. I am exploring the country, bringing you the history, trying to tell you about the culture and show you what it is really like to live here. So feel free to check out my other media, Instagram, Facebook, and I will share links to those in the comments. I also have a website, www.britlivinginpoland.com, where I collate my videos for easy to view manner. Also, you are welcome to contribute to my efforts through Patronite or Patreon, and all descriptions are available below the video. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and please come back for more by subscribing, liking, or commenting. Thank you very much. Do zobaczenia.
So, as the introduction was in Krakow, I thought I would start the video here. So, the Krakow Christmas market is pretty nice. You have a lot of stalls selling a lot of different things, particularly food. You get a lot of traditional Polish food, so Polish cheeses, meats, preserves, honey. You have stalls selling, let's see what else. You have clothing, your winter clothing, so your scarves, your hats, your gloves, that kind of thing. You have quite a bit of toys on sale as well. And of course, souvenirs. One thing to say is definitely these Christmas markets are better at night, the way they're lit up, and in general the way that Poland looks at night during the winter is absolutely amazing. And this video will hopefully showcase the best you can see, at least in the top 4 cities. You will see a lot of similarities between the different places that you go to. And I will throw in some traditional history information to add as well. Starting with, apparently Christmas markets in Poland have only been popular for the last 20 or 30 years, which surprised me. Whereas like in Austria and Germany, they're kind of 13th, 14th century kind of affairs. So I think it's maybe Poland making up for lost time with a kind of a period where they can celebrate. One thing in particular to note in Krakow are these things called szopki, and you see them dotted all over the city. And they're kind of like a weird combination of like a doll's house with a nativity scene. And they actually have a competition each year where people will submit their designs and the winning display will be immortalized in one of these glass cases. If you go to the Ethnographic Museum, you can see some of the more traditional designs. And they are actually kind of meant to be for like nativity plays, though a lot of them have been kind of modernized to incorporate modern events of cultural significance. So they're pretty cool. You have a really weird tradition of caroling in Poland. And this is something called kolędowanie. And this goes back to pagan times. And I think this is the pagan god Torun, maybe similar to the city, who is the dark horned fellow. And so this is a lot of strange people walking around in weird costumes, singing carols, doing performances. And normally they will be carrying some kind of star like this. You have these pionki, which are kind of traditional Christmas hanging things. And here are some very old decorations and some newer ones. I like these kind of balloons. It looks lovely. So we're going to go to Gdansk, and Gdansk has a bit more of a German feel to it. And it's a lot more open. But yeah, this particular decoration I think is German. We always had one at home when I was a kid with candles that the smoke would turn the blades of the windmill. And the stalls are selling very similar things. That's the thing, like I'm not going to keep repeating. I see this weird talking moose theme popping up, because you see it in Wrocław as well. But Gdansk is a little bit more commercialized than Krakow in a way. There was some like sponsorship and some more kind of activities for children, like various rides and things that people could go on, like carousels, for example. A lot of like photo points. You know, you can see it's geared a little bit more to the tourist, where I think Krakow was about, let's say, a little bit more traditional in its application of the Christmas market. But I have to admit, I really loved walking around these different cities and taking in this, because normally I've only been exposed to Warsaw in Christmas, so it was nice to go to other parts of Poland. Of course, when I was in Gdansk, I had to wander around, because as nice as the Christmas market was, there were, some wonderful lights dotted throughout the city, and it's a very beautiful city, so I had to explore. Yeah, in Krakow it wasn't quite the same. There weren't as many kind of Christmas decorations dotted around as I'd expected to find. But you had all these kind of cool selfie things with like the angel wings, this nice fountain. All of the streets just looked magical. Even though the weather perhaps wasn't very Christmassy, it was rather wet and miserable this year, it still had a very magical touch. And here you have Neptune's fountain with the giant Christmas tree next to it, providing a wonderful, wonderful sight. And especially with the old iconic buildings, it really does set an incredible backdrop for these pictures. Oh, and this is like the oldest Fahrenheit clock in the world, thermometer, I think. Even that was decorated. And even when you go further away from, like, let's say the main center of Gdansk, like the canal is looking beautiful. The bridges are adorned with these little carriages and photo points. And yeah, you just have this wonderful Christmas feeling wherever you go. So yeah, definitely a tourist dream. And then I saw these weird elves on stilts, which was quite concerning. And of course, the shopping malls are always covered in as many Christmas lights as possible. So next we go to Wrocław. And Wrocław, if you watch my channel, I have visited many times this year. I really felt I had to see everything I could in this city. So naturally, I had to come back to see the Christmas market, which I'd heard so much about. So this was my first time seeing it. And people say that the Krakow Christmas market is the best one, but to me, the Wrocław Christmas market is epic. You just have so many of these big stalls and so many of these rides, and I'm like, wow, this is like incredible. I think from what I'm told, it's generally the same each year, is what my friends who have been previously have told me. But it's really cool. You know, you got this slight Germanic influence again, in some of the like the traditional kind of houses and things as well. But they've also put in a few, let's say, Wrocław specific points here. So you see more in the way of kind of dwarves incorporated. Apparently there is a Christmas dwarf. I was doing some reading, and I think I don't know if I saw him or not, but he only comes out at this time of year. So if you're an avid dwarf hunter like I am, be on the lookout for Presentus. And of course, lots of places selling mulled wine as well. If you go to a Christmas market without taking a glass of mulled wine, well, it's just not really the same, is it? It really does help to brighten the mood and, of course, warm the soul. So I did quite a lot of walking again around Wrocław, and you can see the decorations are a little bit more subtle outside of the centre, but they still make an effort. This is the bridge leading to Ostrów-Tumski. And then there were these weird baubles that look like they've just been dotted around. But see how it is at night and how it really comes to life. Sadly, I kind of got here a little bit after closing. I think these markets tend to be pretty done by about 8-9 o'clock in terms of the shops, but still lovely. And yeah, so Wrocław, definitely a place to go. Warsaw, of course, Warsaw I've experienced Christmas in like 5 times now. And so this is the centre of Old Town where they erect the ice rink, which somebody told me is out of order at the moment. But it's certainly, let's say, the most beautiful Christmas site. The way that they string the lights everywhere. They have all of these little stands selling food and mulled wine. And it's sadly insanely overcrowded. They have the big Christmas tree by the royal castle, which is pretty much the same every year. But one thing they've done this year is they've completely got in a whole load of new Christmas decorations. I was surprised. Where a lot of Polish cities tend to kind of roll out the same thing year after year, and Warsaw was no different. This year, they obviously spent a lot of money to completely modernize their collection of Christmas oddities dotted around. And a beautiful set. And it's not just in these main areas. So this is like the kind of Nowy Świat, build up to Old Town kind of area. Oh, and they had these processions with these scary characters as well. Lots of photo points. As you can see, everyone is just exploring. But yeah, as I said, very surprised to see these new, more modern Christmas decorations, like very much more colourful. Because normally you get the kind of the gold and silver kind of effects, maybe a little bit of green here and there. But yeah, this year they went all out on colour. And of course you have the traditional Ferrero Rocher sponsorship of the main Nowy Świat area. And yeah, this was outside of Arcadia, I think. And here's like the Chmelna area, where again I saw all of these new decorations like gingerbread men and stars and neon trees. I mean, Poland has a long tradition of neon lights, particularly going back to the communist era, when neon lights were an expression of freedom. And definitely in Warsaw, I think they're embracing this whole freedom thing in big style this year. If you want to see what Warsaw was like in previous years, I would direct you to a previous video called Very Warsaw Christmas. And you get to see a little bit more of the old style lighting. But yeah, on Świętokrzyska Street, again, they created these displays, which I think represent a lot of like the traditional Poland Christmas. But when I say traditional, I mean more like between the sort of 60s and 80s kind of time. Because you see like these old technologies, and yeah, of course, Santa was always riding around on his motorbike. Warsaw does have a Christmas market as well. Though I have to be honest, compared to the other cities in Poland, it's perhaps a little bit small. You have this one alley along the Barbican by Old Town. And you still have lots of stalls selling lots of really cool things. Christmas markets are a great place for me to get Christmas gifts for my family before I head back. But it does feel a bit cramped, and it does get a bit overcrowded in the evenings. And I don't know, I slightly hope that they would move the Christmas market to, say the Castle Square or something where there's a bit more space. But overall, this has been the Polish Christmas in 2023. It comes a little bit after Christmas, but I had to get my footage. So thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned for more content. Do zobaczenia.